everybody, hope you're having a wonderful day today. If you're new here, hi, my name is Katie. I'm a music teacher and I love helping people take their playing to the next level, whatever level that may be. I don't know if you're like me, but when I first started, there was just this mystery around fingerpicking and it just seemed something very, very complicated and overwhelming. But the more and more I tried it, the more and more I realized that, hey, some of the most simple things that you're playing actually sound more complicated than they actually sound. So this is exactly what I'm doing with this arrangement of Autumn Leaves. Years ago, I heard my friend Allison play and sing a beautiful arrangement like this. Haven't been able to get it out of my head for the past 13 years. So finally I sat down, arranged a version that doesn't involve any bar chords, and it's perfect for the seasoned beginner. Okay, let's get started. We have an A minor, a D minor, G7, C major 7, F major 7, now, B diminished. What I'm doing for the B diminished with the finger picking part, because you see the graphic, you think, oh no, there's that bar chord. Don't worry about it. I'm going to be using a truncated version like this because I'm only going to be plucking the 5th string, 1st string, and 2nd string with my thumb, index, and middle fingers. So we have the 2nd fret here, 1st fret, 1st finger, and then pinky is going to be on the 3rd fret of the B string. And then we have an E7. For this intro, what I decided to do is make a kind of a haunting, finger-picking, hammer-on type of deal. So what I'm doing is I'm holding an A minor chord, and I'm going to pluck the A string, G string, then the B string. So you see I'm using my thumb, index finger, middle finger, and then I'm going to pluck the G string again with my index finger. Thumb, pointer, middle, pointer. Now from here, I'm going to release the index finger on my chording hand. I'm going to pluck that B string and then I'm going to hammer onto the 1st fret. Like that. So what a hammer-on does is that I pluck the open string and then my index finger is going to basically hammer on to the string. The actual sound comes from the string hitting the metal bar, hitting the fret. So you're like, where's that coming from? It comes from the metal bar hitting the string. So the string hitting the metal bar, I should say. It's the other way around. Now from here, I pluck the G string again, and then I hammer on again of the B string. So the counts would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'm going to try that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Hear that? A little faster. That. So I'm letting the other strings ring out. I'm not dampening them to stop them from vibrating. I'm letting them ring out and tie over to create that A minor arpeggio, that haunting feeling, all right, like of the turn of the seasons. The next measure, it's going to sound like this. Very similar to the first measure. So we still have our A minor chord holding on our left hand, thumb, pointer, middle, pointer, hammer on, G string. Now from here, I'm going to take my ring finger, I'm going to pluck the B string, and then back to the B string. All right, so I have my hammer on, then E string, back to the B string. Now the next measure, it's the same as the first measure. Then I hold an A minor. So the whole thing is going to sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. let's move on to the rest of the song. First 4 measures will sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you'll notice that I have the rhythm hits in the graphics to my side, but if you want the actual tabs, you have to visit my Patreon page. It's all laid out for you. But the rhythm hits, you'll see that they're really repeated. There's nothing really new except for those 2 rhythms. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and. You see where I have the rests? That is someplace where I'm just actually tapping my strings to stop them from vibrating. I'm muting the strings. Or you can mute with your palm like this, just to create space between the notes. So first I have my D minor. I'm going to hold that on my chording hand and my plucking hand. My thumb is resting on top of that D string. Then these 2 fingers, they're going to pluck the E and the B strings at the same time while I hold the D minor chord. And in between, you hear that tap. It's either with my palm or with my fingers. Just choose which one you would like. Now I have the G7. My ring finger is going to move to the 3rd fret of this E string, and my thumb is going to be moving to the E string too. Why? 3rd fret of that E string is a G. So that is the root of the chord. So our thumb has to be plucking the root of the note. So the first 2 measures will sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and G7 and. Now we have the same repeated rhythm for a C major 7. Index and middle will pluck the E and the B strings. Thumb will move down to the A string. Now we have the F major 7. We move to an F major 7 chord on the left hand. Thumb will move to the D string. Why? 3rd fret of the D string is an F note. So let's try that together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 G7, C major 7, F major 7. The next portion will sound like this, B diminished chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and A minor. So you'll notice that the last 2 measures, those are the last 2 measures of the intro. We have our B diminished to start off with this portion, and you could use the bar chord or this version right here. My thumb is going to pluck the A string and index in middle, the B and the E strings. Now for the E7, I'm going to keep finger number 2 on the 2nd fret of the A string, and my index finger on my chording hand is going to come up 2 strings like this and lift off the pinky, and then my thumb is going to pluck the E string, and my index in middle will pluck the B and the G strings. Now we have that A minor. It's the same turnaround that we did before, and it's the last 2 measures of the intro. Strum and hold. So hopefully you noticed that the finger picking revolves around the chords, and you'll notice that there are some strings that I'm not plucking even though I'm holding them. What I'm doing is I'm holding them as a placeholder just in case I have a rogue finger. No matter what, I am going to be playing something that's within the chord, so if I accidentally pluck a string that I didn't mean to pluck, it's going to sound like it's within the chord, or it's like, oh, it sounds like I meant to do that. Everything except for that B diminished chord. If you would like to hold that bar chord, that's totally fine, just to make sure that's your safeguard, but it's really not necessary if you just want to avoid that altogether. Now we have the "Since You Went Away." I love this part. Oh, it's so haunting. You'll also notice that with the legwork that you did at the beginning of the song, it's going to serve you for the second part of the song because it has the same chords just in a different order. So if you know that finger picking pattern and the rhythm, you put that work in, second part's going to be really easy. So we have the B diminished chord, E7, A minor for 2 measures. Then we have D minor, G7, C major 7 for 2 measures. So we have since you went away. B diminished will sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3. E7, A minor. Soon I'll hear G7, old winter song. So do you hear how the rhythm is consistent as we did in the previous part? So let's try that again. B diminished. 1, 2. Since you went away. E7. A minor chord. D minor. G7. Old winter C major. Alright, now we have But I Miss You Most of All. We have B diminished, E7, A minor for 2 measures, then a B diminished, the autumn leaves, hold the E7, begin to fall, and then we have the ending riff, which should sound familiar like we had done before. So let's try the B diminished, But I Miss You Most of All. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2. E7, A minor, B diminished, autumn leaves begin to fall. All right, let's try the whole thing together slowly. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The D minor, G7, C major 7, F major 7, B diminished, E7 of A minor riff. Then it's going to repeat for a verse, but let's go to Since You Went Away, B7, B diminished, sorry, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and E7, A minor chord, D minor, G7, C major 7, B diminished, D7, A minor, B diminished, E7 hold, then ending riff. The play along isn't a separate video. I'm going to put that in the cards above and the description box below where I sing and play along with it. There was a preview at the very beginning of this video. And yeah, don't forget to check that out if you want to be able to play along with me. Don't forget to hit subscribe and the like button. Really helps me out to let me know that you like these videos, you'd like to see more. All right, I hope you have a wonderful day. And remember that you are loved. Happy picking. Bye. Dude, you should totally see my shoes right now. Chucks. Yes. I love that juxtaposition of like nice dress and Converse. I really like it. 1, because it's comfortable. 2, they go with everything. 3, I just think there's nothing more cute than something really girly with something that's just really practical. How about you?